Well,
Yeah.
Amit, to what you're saying, Stephen gave us an exercise once, which was brush your teeth with your opposite hand. And to this day, I still do it once in a while just because it brings that mindfulness to a mundane activity. And it's like, I know this isn't a smart thing, but the whole one mindful activity
Yep.
of these mundane activities we partake in, it's like, let's mindfully make my bed, because I know I do it. So let's actually, instead of thinking about 5 minutes of daydreaming while I'm making my bed, let's try and focus and then take note. There's this term you brought up, headspace, before, Stephen. They have a thing on there, noting. Take note of all the different times my mind's going over here and over there and over
Yeah.
here while I'm going through it. And like Thomas said about it, that type of preparation bleeds into my day.
Yeah.
So if I can mindfully partake in those mundane activities, it really does help. It's not as, this is the thing that's kind of weird about quantifying this type of stuff, is at the end of the day, I'll feel better. And a part of me goes, yeah, but was it because we did that? You know what I mean? With a drink, it's so fucking. Oh no, I know I'm inebriated because I had those beers. With this mindful stuff, it's not like, there's this direct correlation where I can say, no, I definitely know I feel now how I do because of that stuff I did before. And as a result, there's this part of me that has doubt, I guess. It's like, does it, but I know I'm going to keep doing it because it's working. But
I,
I
th
have
I
to
think
admit,
I think that also plays into the problem with instant gratification, right?
sure it does.
When
And I
there's
have that. Yeah.
when there's that tangible thing that you get from the instantly rewarding activity that you're doing that's really not effective for you to be who you want to be and live the life you want to live, but there's something tangible that you get that gives you that instant gratification. Whereas when we're going through learning these new skills and trying to do things mindfully, it's not as instantly rewarding, and there's not that tangible thing that you're actually holding on to and that goes, yes, this is the thing that's working for me right now, right? It's
Exactly.
slow increases. What about the physical aspect of things? So urges, obviously trying to cope with urges is we've covered a lot of the tools that revolve around distracting and avoiding and challenging those thought processes, disputing the irrational beliefs, things like that. What about the physical side of things? There's a couple of things, if I remember rightly, inside of SMART where they use the HALT acronym to look at the physical side of things, to be aware of how if we're not taking care of our physical well-being, that can lead to urges and things like that. Does that ever come up in your meetings, talking about the physical side of things?
Sure, we talk about hungry, angry, lonely, tired, and bored, anxious, depressed, and sad, and the halt, the bads. We
Yep.
talk about all those things and how if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're not eating a healthy diet, if you're not exercising, if you're not talking to people, if you're not doing things that are going to benefit you physically, like you said, your self care, then it may lead you to lapse and, lead you to whatever behavior you're trying to get away from.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that definitely comes up.
It's for me, I think in the beginning when we first start doing this sort of work, and start trying to live that recovery lifestyle, the physical side of things is something that I knew I could kind of grab control of. You know what I mean? Like my thoughts and my feelings were like, woo, they're out there somewhere, and I've got very little control over those. But when it comes to the physical side of things, my exercise, my diet, like really grabbing a hold of that. It was something that I knew that if I did this, it would work. If I did this, it would make a difference. So it's something I think in the beginning that's quite important for us to talk about. Does it come up very often for anybody else, or is it not really something that shows up in your meetings?
We
Yeah.
talk about sleep hygiene quite a bit in
Yeah.
the meetings, I find, because a lot of people struggle with that at first.
Hmm.
And so we talk about that quite a bit about, like, shutting electronics off an hour early and that kind of thing, meditate and all that. So,
Yeah, sleep is
mhm.
obviously there's the physical side of withdrawing from, if we're talking about substance, and to some degree process as well, that sleep is impacted, and sleep is probably one of the most important things that we need to get a grip of, because it's how we recharge, it's how we repair everything that's going on, right? So yeah, not surprised that sleep hygiene is something that comes up. Anything else that people talk about when it comes to the physical side of things?
Yeah, I find that a lot of it too is just like, any sort of physical or mental discomfort can open that doorway for urges to turn into um, return to use. And something that I often like to kind of add on to halt the bads is I call it fault the bads, adding a P to the front of halt, because pain is another thing that can often
Yeah.
lead to that discomfort, and it's very difficult to ignore pain for most people, whether that be emotional or physical.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of tools in Smart that are very helpful for emotional pain that work for not only recovery-based things, but it's I think the bottom line of it for me is just keeping myself comfortable, right? Physically and emotionally comfortable as best I can, because the more comfortable I am, the less open my doors are for urges and cravings to take over.